What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I've just seen some breaking news regarding Derrick Rose. There had been a lot of speculation that Derrick Rose may be returning to the city of New York, where he spent some time playing after his tenure in Chicago. And apparently, he has been, according to several credible sources, including Sports Illustrated, he has been traded back to New York. The Knicks are expected to acquire point guard Derrick Rose in a trade with the Pistons, according to the Athletics' Shams Charania and James Edwards III. New York will send point guard Dennis Smith Jr. and draft compensation to Detroit, per Charania and Edwards. Rose, who is 32 years old, is in his 12th NBA season. The 2010-2011 MVP is averaging 14.2 points and 4.2 assists per game this season. Though his playing time has dwindled of late, Rose has been inactive in 5 of Detroit's last 8 contests. Sunday's deal would bring Rose to New York for a second time after he played 64 games with the Knicks in 2016-2017. Most notably, Rose will also be reunited with former head coach Tom Thibodeau, who guided Rose and the Bulls to 7 straight playoff appearances from 2008 to 2015. Chicago tallied 350-win seasons with Rose and Thibodeau, though it never advanced to the finals. The Bulls fired Thibodeau after 2015, after which he coached Timberwolves for 3 years. In Thibodeau's first season coaching New York, the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference playoff race. They currently sit number 7 in the Eastern Conference at 11-13, sporting the NBA's number 6 defensive rating. They have not reached the playoffs in 8 years. Rose is a 3-time All-Star. He won Rookie of the Year in 2008-2009, earning an All-Star selection in 2010-2011. And I also need to note that Rose also played with Thibodeau in Minnesota, where, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rose either won Sixth Man of the Year or he was amongst the leading candidates for Sixth Man of the Year, and also amongst the leading candidates, or maybe he did win Comeback Player of the Year. I can't remember whether or not he won it or not, but I do remember him dropping 50 that year against the Utah Jazz, who was the team that pretty much let him go and left his NBA future uncertain at that time. It was when he was let go by the Cleveland Cavaliers and then released by the Utah Jazz after a subsequent trade, and his career seemed to be almost over. But he will be reunited with Tom Thibodeau. I can't help but think that Derrick Rose's veteran leadership, his scoring ability, and his playmaking can't do anything but help this team. The Knicks are a really good defensive team as per their solid defensive rating, but they are a team that needs some perimeter scoring. Okay, that's one of the things they lack. Rose can help them in that aspect. He can help them with their scoring. So I really see nothing but upside with this. And of course, Thibodeau and Rose are in sync. They're used to one another. Um, so yeah, this is a plus for me, in my opinion. Now, will this put them over the top? Of course not. But it will. It can definitely ensure their chances of making the playoffs, which is I mean, for Knicks fans, something that they were accustomed to back in the golden days of the New York Knicks fandom, 1970s, a lot of the 80s, especially the 1990s into the 2000s. Um, then after around, I think Allen Houston, when he started suffering the knee issues and he went down, there was a long period where they were an awful team. And even under the Carmelo Anthony era, they didn't have as much success as you hoped they would. So this would be a renaissance year of such, as far as the Knicks actually maybe potentially making the playoffs. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section.